If you are rated 100% disabled by the VA, you have probably been told that is the ceiling, the top, the most the system will ever pay you. This year, that 100% rate is $3,938.58 a month for a single veteran. And here is what almost nobody tells you. It is not the ceiling. There is an entire staircase of payments that sits above 100%. And at the very top, the VA pays a veteran $11,271.67 a month. It is called special monthly compensation, and it is the most underclaimed money in the entire VA system. Veterans qualify for it and never file. The VA is supposed to award it automatically and routinely does not. And the single most missed piece of it is a payment so quiet that the men who qualify are often too embarrassed to bring it up. So today I am going to walk you up that staircase, one step at a time. 5 things. 1. The $140 payment, every month for life, that more veterans miss than any other, and the awkward reason they miss it. 2. The housebound rate that pays above 100%. 3. The aid and attendance ladder and what it really pays the husband or wife who became a full-time caregiver. 4. The level for traumatic brain injury that sits near the very top. And 5. How to actually get money the VA already owes you but will not hand over until you ask in writing the right way. I run the veteran brief, and I sit on this side of the desk for one reason, so the paperwork never beats the people who earned the benefit. Let's open the file. Start with the most missed payment in the whole system. It is called SMC-K, and in 2026, it pays an extra $139.87 a month. Now, I can hear you. $140. That is not the $11,000 you led with. Stay with me, because 3 things make SMC-K the sharpest deal in the entire VA. First, it does not replace your regular check. It gets added on top of it. 100% plus SMC-K. Second, you can stack it. Each qualifying loss is its own K award, so 2 of them is roughly $280 a month. 3 is over $400. Every month, for the rest of your life, tax-free. And third, the list of things that qualify is far broader than veterans realize. Loss or loss of use of a hand, a foot, blindness in one eye with the other eye damaged, deafness in both ears, and, this is the one nobody talks about, loss of use of a creative organ. That is the VA's clinical phrase for reproductive function. And here is the hard truth that costs men $140 a month for decades. Erectile dysfunction and reproductive loss are extremely common after prostate cancer, after diabetes, after years on certain PTSD and blood pressure medications, all of which are frequently service-connected. The VA is supposed to grant SMC-K for it automatically. It often does not, and most men never raise it because it is the single most uncomfortable thing to put in a claim. I get it, but that embarrassment has a price tag, and the price is your money every month gone. If that describes you, this is your sign to have the unglamorous conversation with your doctor and put it on paper. Now let's climb. Above the regular 100% rate sits the housebound rate. In 2026, it pays $4,408.53 a month. Call it $500 a month more than the standard 100% check. Housebound means roughly what it sounds like. Because of your service-connected conditions, you are substantially confined to your home, and that is expected to continue for the rest of your life. You do not have to be bedridden, you do not have to need another person, you just have to be genuinely confined by your disabilities. A lot of older veterans with severe heart and lung conditions, with advanced neurological disease, qualify for housebound and are still being paid at the plain 100% rate because nobody ever told them the housebound rate existed. It is one line of evidence away. That is the second rung. And now we reach the part of this staircase that is not really about money at all. It is about the person sitting in the next room, the aid and attendance levels. Aid and attendance is the VA's term for needing the regular help of another human being to get through your day. Help bathing, dressing, eating, taking your medication, staying safe. When your service-connected disabilities reach that point, you move off the housebound rung and onto the aid and attendance ladder, and the numbers change completely. The entry-level SMC-L pays $4,900.83 a month, and it keeps climbing. L&a half, MN all the way up. 5,000, 6,000, nearly 7,000 a month. as the combinations of loss get more severe. I want to tell you about Walt's wife, Carol. Some of you met Carol in another video. Walt is 100%, and over the last few years his body has narrowed his world down to a few rooms. And Carol, who is not young either, gets him up in the morning, helps him wash, lays out his pills, drives him to every appointment, and lies awake listening for him at night. Carol does the work of a home health aide, around the clock, for free, because she loves him. The aid and attendance levels are the closest the system comes to saying, "We see her." The money does not go to Carol, it goes to Walt, but it is what finally lets a family afford the help, or lets the caregiving spouse stop working a second job. For years, Walt was paid at the plain 100% rate while Carol did all of that, because no one at the VA ever said the words aid and attendance to them. When they finally filed, the difference was nearly $1,000 a month. That is the third rung, and it is the one I most want you to check on for the people you love. Near the very top of the ladder are the R levels. SMC-R1 pays $9,826.88 a month. And the highest rung the VA offers, SMC-R2, pays $11,271.67 a month. The difference between them is the intensity of care. R1 is for a veteran who needs regular aid and attendance, and R2 is for a veteran whose care has to be provided, in part, by a trained medical professional, the level of need where a family is bringing skilled help into the home. These are the most catastrophically disabled veterans in the country, and the $11,000 a month exists precisely so that the people who love them are not financially destroyed by caring for them. And there is a fourth level that lands in the same place, SMC-T, for veterans. With a traumatic brain injury severe enough to require that same regular aid and attendance. SMC-T was created specifically so that TBI veterans and the spouses who became their full-time caregivers could reach that top rate without losing it to a technicality. SMC-T pays the same as R2, $11,271.67 a month. If you are caring for a veteran with a serious service-connected brain injury, that level has your name on it, and almost nobody knows to ask for it by its letter. So that is the staircase, from $140 a month all the way to over $11,000. Now the question that actually matters, if this money is mine, why am I not getting it? Here is the honest, infuriating answer. By the VA's own rules, special monthly compensation is supposed to be inferred. That means when the evidence in your file shows you qualify, the loss of use, the housebound confinement, the need for aid and attendance, the rater is supposed to award the higher SMC level on their own, without you even asking. That is the rule. In the real world, it routinely does not happen. Files are big, raters are rushed, and the SMC box quietly goes unchecked, which means the burden, unfair as it is, falls back on you to raise your hand. So here is how you raise it. First, if any of these described you, the creative organ loss, the housebound confinement, the daily help from a spouse, do not assume the VA noticed. Put it in writing. File a claim or a supplemental claim on the standard form 21-526EZ and name the SMC level you believe you qualify for. Second, for the aid and attendance and housebound levels, get the medical exam form filled out, that is the 21-2680, by your doctor, documenting exactly what you can and cannot do for yourself. Third, do not do this alone. An accredited veteran service officer will review your file for missed SMC for free. And SMC hiding in a file is one of the most common things a good VSO catches. You do not pay them. You never pay anyone for the right to your own benefit. Let me bring this back down to where it started. The 100% rate is not the ceiling. It is the landing at the bottom of a staircase that most veterans never even see. There is $140 a month sitting at the first step that men walk past for decades out of embarrassment. There is a housebound rate one line of evidence away. There is an aid and attendance ladder that exists to keep the Carols of this world from being crushed by the weight of loving someone. And there is a rate at the top, over $11,000 a month, that says to the most catastrophically wounded among us, your care is not your family's punishment to bear alone. None of it is automatic, even when it is supposed to be. All of it starts with one veteran or one spouse deciding to ask. One honest note before you go. This is education, not legal or medical advice, and the rates and rules change every year. Verify your specifics on va.gov or with an accredited VSO who works for free. If this opened a door you did not know was there, send it to one veteran or one caregiver who has been quietly carrying the load. That is how this channel works. I'm the Veteran Brief. Thanks for your service, and I will see you in the next brief.